Please note our demo platform uses fake data, so any sales results shown in this video are not real.
This section is available from the homepage of SmartView, but only for those clients that are reporting their wholesale shipments as well as their retail EPOS sales out of convenience stores. Note that simple product supplier or brand rankings, year-on-year performance and sales share for retail can be found on the NAMDASH pages by using the drop-down that determines whether a user is looking at wholesale shipments or retail sales to consumers. The retail section of SmartView puts a different slant on the retail sales data and allows you to consider things like store performance for benchmarking, space and ranging, linked purchases, footfall, product distribution, actual and weighted, and sales per store per week. This data is probably particularly useful to category insight professionals or maybe retail business development managers, so it's less about trading or buying and more about retail store development. As with the other sections of our SmartView platform, each client can select which of the pages they choose to share or use. We'll give you an overview of all of our functionality, but some pages will vary from client to client. The first page of SmartView Retail is Basket Overview. This is designed to give a summary of the business performance at store level. Depending on your access rights will determine how much detail you can see, but a buyer with access to all categories will be able to see key store performance metrics such as average basket size, spend and items, and the number of transactions per store per day. In the middle section of this page, users can see best-selling and fastest growing lines, and then at the bottom we show in a pie chart from the composition of the average basket so that you can visualize basket share by category versus prior year. Basket Overview, you might want to move into Basket Detail, which is the next page on the menu bar to the right of Basket Overview. Basket Detail enables you to start to investigate linked purchases, so it'll help you to identify what different products frequently appear in the same baskets. This may help identify potential products to use on linked deals or for dual citing items in store. For the algorithm to work, the product you are looking at has to have reasonable base rate of the sale. This is because we require enough instances of it to appear in shoppers' baskets for the code to identify a true correlation between two different products. In this example, we will use Red Bull 250ml, which is a popular line and therefore meets our base rate of sale threshold. We will review what products customers have bought at the same time as a can of Red Bull. To activate this page, start by clicking on the Show Filters button. We need to enter our Red Bull 250ml information. As with all our filters, you can either search through the drop-down menus or start typing so that the list auto-corrects to the word you are typing. Once you have selected Red Bull 250ml, hit Apply Filters. After a few moments, your results will be displayed. The headline boxes from left to right across the top of the page will tell you about the basket penetration of your chosen product, as well as what customer spend it is driving. The bottom of the page then displays products that are purchased at the same time. We use a variety of calculations, and you can click on the column headers to sort on your preferred formula. Support is the percentage of transactions that contain Red Bull 250ml and another SKU out of all the transactions in the selected time period. Number of Red Bull 250ml and other SKU transactions divided by number of all transactions. Confidence is the percentage of Red Bull 250ml transactions that also contain the other SKU, number of other SKU, and Red Bull 250ml divided by number of Red Bull 250ml transactions. Lift is then calculating how much more likely someone is to buy the other SKU if they have purchased Red Bull 250ml. Percentage of confidence Red Bull 250ml divided by percentage of transactions containing the other product. We do have mouse overs on the column headers if you want to check the definitions at any time. You can change the time frame at the top of the page as the search will default to 4 weeks. Please note that due to the complexity of the algorithm, longer time frames might take a while to return. From here, let's move to the space and ranging page. This is not designed to be a planogramming tool, there is other software for this, but what we have tried to do is create a visualization tool that enables users to understand the relationship between the space a subcategory or brand is taking up in SKU count and the sales it's generating. To activate this page, please choose a group of subcategories to look at. For example, soft drinks, drink now. At the top of the page, two bar charts will appear. The one on the left shows the sales value that a subcategory is generating and what that accounts to as a percentage for the total. If you hover over a segment, a mouse over will give you the data. The chart on the right represents the number of SKUs sold in that subcategory. You can click through on a segment of the bar chart to just look at that one subcategory in more detail. So if you click through on sports and energy, it will now segment space versus sales for the sports and energy subcategories. The page defaults to looking at category data, but you can change the segmentation to consider brand or supplier. Do this by resetting the page using the blue button on the top right that says Reset. Then click on the drop-down box at the top of the page that says Category and change your selection. In this example, we will pick brand and then select soft drinks, drink now, sports and energy. You'll see that it then reports sales versus space or SKU count, but by brand, so you can consider brand share. Once results have been returned and you have bar charts showing, if you scroll down below the bar charts, you'll see data tables with the figures that the bar charts are built from, but you also have some further charts to review as part of your space and ranging analysis. Click the button that says Graph, and this will take you to a new page. The first chart displayed is a Pareto chart. If you hover your mouse over the top line, cumulative percentage of total sales, you will see percentages reported. Move your mouse until you get to 80%, and anything on the chart to the left of this are the SKUs accounting for 80% of sales. If you then click on the sales by store graph, this visualizes value sales by SKU and a count of the stores that have sold it. This is useful for identifying where you have high selling lines that are not actually stocked in many stores, and will help you to identify which products really are in the tail of a category and are not earning their keep, and which products are actually under-distributed and may well increase overall sales if they are stocked in more stores. The next two pages use the Boston Matrix model to show the relative performance of categories, brands or stores. Our first page is Boston Matrix categories. A Boston Matrix uses quadrants to show performance. Anything in the top right box is a high performer, and anything in the bottom left box is weak. In our Boston Matrix, we are using left to right or the horizontal x-axis to show share of sales, and then bottom to top or the vertical y-axis to show year-on-year performance. So anything in the top right box has high share of sales and high year-on-year sales compared to the other items in the table. For example, if we pick Drink Now soft drinks, the chart will plot all the subcategories according to their relative share of sales and year-on-year performance. Looking at where the subcategories are plotted helps users to understand which categories are under or overperforming. You can then click through on a bubble to go to the layer of subcategories below. For example, if you click on Sports and Energy in the top right, it will then change the Boston Matrix to show how stimulation, glucose and sport are performing relative to one another within sports and energy. The next page of Boston Matrix stores offers the same visualization opportunity but for store performance. On this page, you can pick a category, say Drink Now, soft drinks, and individual stores will be plotted on the matrix based on how well their sales of Drink Now soft drinks are performing. This matrix uses the same axes and measures as the category matrix, so high-performing stores are top right and lower-performing stores are bottom left. They are being measured on year-on-year performance and share of sales. To find out more detail about the stores illustrated on the matrix, click through on the bubble and you will get a store list. Once you have a store list, click the column headers to move between the lists for each quadrant. All of these lists can be exported via the export button. Suppliers, having looked at a store performance for a category and assessed store count by quadrant, you can then overlay this with your company name or one of your brands to see whether you are under or overperforming versus the category. The next page is sales by week. This is similar to SKU Tracker on the NAMDASH section. The difference here is that it allows you to track SKU sales or a total supplier's sales versus the category. For example, if we choose Drink Now soft drinks and then sports and energy, and within that stimulation, and then choose Red Bull as a supplier, the line chart that is returned will show whether the category sales and Red Bull sales are in sync, and as such whether Red Bull is driving the category trends or missing category opportunities that are being driven by another supplier. next page is Sku Performance. This is where you will find your standard retail performance metrics for your product portfolio. As with the other pages, start by using the filters to hone down your selection. Pick your department and subcategory and then choose supplier name or brand and hit refresh. Sku data will be returned for the supplier or brand you choose. The column headers are self-explanatory, but if you hover over them with your mouse, you will get a commentary on each one. You can change the sort order by clicking on the column header to sort high to low or low to high on the column you've selected. This page reports volume, value, rate of sale and distribution, as well as average retail selling price. Distribution is shown as actual and category weighted, which is useful for less represented categories in convenience such as health and beauty. The final page in retail is Gap Analysis Retail. Unlike the Gap Analysis page in the analysis section of the platform, Gap Analysis Retail works where you have retail EPOS. It reports in red if a customer has not bought or sold the product, green if the customer has bought and sold the product, and importantly, it will also report in amber if a retailer has not bought the product from the wholesaler but is selling the product, which probably means they have bought it from another wholesaler. Please be aware that there may be a time lag on the lines with slower rate of sale. If, for example, the time frame is set for 13 weeks and the retailer has sold the item but not bought it from the wholesaler in that time frame, there is a chance that they purchased it from their wholesaler prior to the start of the 13-week period and the stock has been selling through slowly since but has not been replenished. And one more thing, please remember this data is commercially sensitive. Please protect your username and password and do not share them. And please do not share the data except with the wholesaler who supplied it to you.